Good morning, everyone. My name's Steph, and I'm going to be doing the Friday morning mindfulness session. And we're going to be continuing the theme of the 7 mindful attitudes. And today we'll be doing beginner's mind. And then we'll follow this by a 10-minute mindfulness of breath. So what we've done before is we've followed the 7 attitudes that John Kabat-Zinn talks about in his book For Catastrophe Living. And I have added some links for people to look at, which is a video of John Kabat-Zinn talking about, funnily enough, the 9 mindful attitudes, but in this book it's the 7, but it's always good to have another couple of attitudes to look at, so we might do that right at the end of this series. So last week we did patience, working with that in meditation, and previous to that we did working with the judging mind and practicing the attitude of non-judging. So I am going to write all this down, so by the end of this series there'll be a handout for people to look at. So, okay, beginner's mind. I just think the word itself, beginner's mind, actually gives a flavour of what we're talking about when we're looking at bringing this attitude into our everyday practice of mindfulness. And so the flavour of beginner's mind. Well, actually, I think what I'll do is I'll just read out something from John Kabat-Zinn's book about beginner's mind. An open beginner's mind allows us to be receptive to new possibilities and prevents us from getting stuck in the rut of our own expertise, which often thinks it knows more than it does. No moment is the same as any other. Each is unique and contains unique possibilities. Beginner's mind reminds us of this simple truth. So I've written a few things down myself, and with beginner's mind, and so this can be practiced in daily life as well as when you're meditating or having a mindfulness session, but sort of in the moment when we're bringing beginner's mind, it's actually allowing us to just let go of what we think we might know what's going to happen in this session, perhaps have a sense that it's going to calm us down, but actually letting go of that and opening to the freshness of actually what does arise in any one moment. Taking a fresh look, a bit like perhaps the attitude that you see when a baby starts playing with a new toy, just really opening up to that wonder of what happens moment by moment. And when we can do this, when we can actually open to what's here right now, letting go of perhaps what we think might happen, or even letting go of the previous moments, ideas and expectations, and actually really opening and tuning in. Actually something fresh can come in. So I had no idea that train was going to pass ahead of me now, and just opening to the sound. We can never tell what clatter or voices or whatever, we never know what sound is going to arise until it actually arises and we can experience it. So it's all that sort of flavour. And actually there can be a sense of freedom with letting go of preconceived ideas about how things are going to turn out, because we can never fully know. So actually if we can allow that uncertainty of not knowing what's going to happen, and just allow things to unfold moment by moment, there can be a real sense of relaxation. Letting go of having to try and make things happen can actually allow us to really inhabit the moment. And opening to the moment, opening to the beginner's mind, and just exploring what's there, whether it's the breath, sensations in the body, can also be a way of letting go of that chatter of what's going on in the moment. So sort of letting that go and opening to something fresh allows you to focus in a different way. Yes, and one thing that I have often found a real relief with beginner's mind is that you can always start again. So whatever your experience of the mindfulness practice or meditation or whatever's going on in your day, you can just say, oh, I can just start again in this moment. So whatever's happened has passed. Whatever I'm worrying about in the future has not arrived yet. I can just take a breath, relax a bit, and open to what's here right now in a fresh way, with no preconceived ideas. What happens when I can do that? And just opening to sounds, or even what is ahead of me in my visual field. I was thinking this morning when I was thinking about doing this session today about fireworks and the wonder of fireworks, and how we can actually, when we're watching a display of fireworks, we never do know when the firework's going to burst into a sort of a million rays of light, or that crack's going to go off in any one moment. And there's something really alive about just being open to the wonder of that. So perhaps I've said enough. So if we now start a practice, mindfulness of breath, as usual, finding a position that's comfortable for you, and as best you can, just sort of allowing yourself to be upright. And you can have your eyes open, or in a sort of a fairly unfocused way. So perhaps opening, allowing your eyes to gaze sort of 45 degrees ahead of you, and just opening in a sort of not forced way, almost relaxing from the back of the eye, or you can close your eyes. It can be really helpful to allow your feet to be in contact with the floor. Give yourself a sense of stability. Or of course you can sit cross-legged. Some people find that a comfortable position. Or actually indeed some people have a meditation stool. So whatever you find comfortable for yourself. And as I guide you in this next 10 minutes or so, or whatever it turns out to be, probably 10 minutes, just letting go of any need to follow what I say, it's important that unless you find what I'm saying unhelpful, then just allow yourself to be guided by your own instinct of being in the present moment, following whatever you choose, whether it's the breath or contact with the feet to the floor. So it's important not to get too wound out by, not being able to follow it precisely what I'm saying. Just let that go. It's okay to go with your own instincts too. So let's have a practice then. So coming to a sense of this position, this posture. So stepping inside, stepping into this moment of your experience of the body sitting on the chair or whatever it's sitting on. And then allowing your attention to really move to the ground, so to the feet in contact with the floor perhaps. And spending a few moments here, really noticing what your experience is when you place your attention in your feet. You might notice there's a sense of connection of the feet to the floor, perhaps really feeling that contact of the ground. You may notice in your feet that there's a sense of coolness or warmth. So seeing if it's possible to be with your direct experience of your feet rather than thinking about what they might be feeling. So this is a good example of just beginner's mind, just exploring your feet as if for the first time. You might feel sensations of tingling. You might not feel any sensations at all. So whatever's here, allowing it to be here when you place your attention on your feet. Now moving upwards from your feet, all the way up your legs, to the next point of contact, to your sitting bones. So as you place your attention here, again, allow the freshness of your experience when you place your attention here to be felt, experienced. What is actually here precisely in this moment? You might get a sense of the weight of the body bearing down on the chair, a sense of the gravity. You might feel the pressure in certain areas of your sitting bones, of your bottom. Just feeling where it is in contact with the chair and perhaps where it's not in contact with the chair. See if it's possible to be precise about what your experience is. And now allowing your attention to move up your body, up your torso, up your spine. And as you do so, you may find that you grow a fraction. So allowing the uprightness of your body to be experienced. Moving up from the base of your spine all the way up to your shoulders. Perhaps spending a moment noticing what sensations are here as you move into your back, into your torso, all the way up to your shoulders. Spending a few moments here with your shoulders. Perhaps noticing your right shoulder, your left shoulder. Anything that you experience here, often a place of tension. Is it possible just to drop your shoulders a fraction? So now moving down your arms, feeling your hands, noticing where they're placed, experiencing whatever's here. Moving up to your shoulders again, taking in your neck and head. Now perhaps expanding your whole body to your whole body, sitting here, perhaps with the experience of the weight bearing down, the height of you moving upwards. Is it possible to be fully present? Is it possible to be fully present with your body as it is right now? And then perhaps noticing that you're breathing. And perhaps noticing where you notice the breath. Do you notice the breath as it's coming in through your nostrils? Perhaps the cool air as it's passing through your nostrils as you breathe in, and the warm air as you breathe out. The air as it's been warmed by your body. Maybe you feel the breath in the chest area, with the rise and the fall of the rib cage. Is it possible to really fully experience the movement of the body as you breathe in this moment right now? Perhaps noticing if you have any ideas about how you should be experiencing the breath. Perhaps noticing thinking. And if that's the case for you, just allowing your attention very gently to come back to focusing on the moment's experience of the breath. This breath, wherever you're experiencing it in the body. Whether it's in the nostrils, the chest, or the belly, just being with the rise and the fall of the breath. Allowing the breath to unfold moment by moment. So if you notice a long breath, just allowing a long breath. If you notice a short breath, just allowing a short breath. Some people find that placing your attention on the breath could make you feel a bit uneasy. And if that's the case with you, allowing your attention to go anywhere where it feels comfortable, whether it's in the hands or the feet, feeling the ground. So it's always possible to come back to the feet on the floor, sitting bones on the chair, whenever you might feel that you need to reconnect to the present moment. So you choose where you want to come back to, whether it's the breath, the body. Coming back to this moment's experience. And you will notice that thoughts will come into your mind time and time again. And that's just what minds do. So just noticing when your mind is thinking about things, whether it's the past or the future or whatever's happening in this meditation practice. So just notice with kindness, without judging yourself or even judging the judging. And just gradually, gently coming back to this moment's experience. This breath this body, this moment. So now, as we come to an end of this practice, just allowing your attention to shift, perhaps taking in your visual field, where you're in the room, perhaps even allowing yourself to have a little bit of a stretch as we finish this practice. Okay, so beginner's mind. It's something that it's possible to open up to at any time. So just allowing yourself to, over the course of the next week, to just see what happens when you just drop any ideas of what things should be or how they should unfold, and seeing what happens when you just allow beginner's mind, the attitude of beginner's mind, to come into you. So you can practice it anywhere, anytime. Practicing just seeing with fresh eyes. It may be that you can do that with the washing up, with being on Zoom, meeting people on Zoom or face to face or at a distance. What's it like to just open up to people in a completely fresh way? You can use beginner's mind when you go for a walk. Might be around your local area that you think you really know. Is it possible just to look and see things as if you're seeing them for the first time? So, see how you get on. Good luck and have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week. And the attitude we'll be coming to next week will be trust. So, look forward to seeing you then. All the best to you. Take care. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.